What if Ben 10 got a lantern ring? What ring would he choose? No, I got that all wrong. What ring would choose him? Well, to find out that, we need to check through every single lantern core in existence, starting with the Green Lantern. All art within this video belongs to Louis MD, so you can check him out on Twitter. I'll leave a link in the pinned comment and in the description. The Green Lantern ring is the color of willpower. They were founded by the Guardians, who are the intergalactic sort of peacekeeping group, and the Green Lantern ring chooses its user based on two major factors that we need to find out if Ben has. Firstly is indomitable willpower. This is a quality that is necessary for creating strong constructs as a Green Lantern. This willpower is a huge quality of what makes Green Lantern strong. If your will is weak, you cannot get this ring. This also shows up in a secondary quality of what makes a good Green Lantern, and that is the ability to overcome fear. That is important since fear is the #1 weakness of Green Lanterns. So if you can't overcome fear or have a strong enough will, you will not get this ring. Ben Tennyson is a strong-willed young man, and we've seen him demonstrate this in great quantities, like when he dives off into the abyss of the Null Void to stop Dr. Animal, when he activates the energy discharge from a damaged Omnitrix that was going to destroy the universe in order to save his friends, and even when he took on Ghost Freak in human form and won. These demonstrated high levels of willpower, and he also overcame fear like it was no biggie. But I think there's a better candidate for the Green Lantern ring in the show, and that is because of the secret trait that makes the best lanterns. But that candidate is Max Tennyson. He's a strong-willed plumber who stares down fear like it's nothing, having taken on Vilgax on a multitude of occasions head-on, going toe-to-toe with the end of the world, and also facing the embodiment of the Ultimatrix, which was Ultimate Kevin. Even in his young days, Max has had great parallels to Hal Jordan since they were both fighter pilots. However, Grandpa Max has a secret trait that makes or breaks a Green Lantern, and that is his resourcefulness. Grandpa Max has gotten himself out of many a situation without any advanced weaponry or tech on him, and that's a great quality to have when you are a Green Lantern. But if a green ring isn't the exact fit for Ben Tennyson, what about the Red Lantern ring? This ring chooses its user based on whether they have experienced the Great Rage. This is charged on the blood of their enemies. Most might not think this would be a good fit for Ben Tennyson, but we need to keep in mind that Ben has had moments of Great Rage during the show, especially from his future self, Ben 10K. Stay with me now. But Ben 10,000 has killed Vilgax by ripping him into pieces. He has leveled an entire city when he tried to crush Kevin like a cockroach, and especially in his transformation as Wrath, we know for a fact that Ben has given concussions and broken bones to some very mouthy Tetramans. But with all that said, red isn't the color for Ben Tennyson, as there is still one more that is 10 times as angry, and that is his Galvan twin, Albido. Albido is the embodiment of rage, as he has done the most in an attempt to take down Ben Tennyson. He has teamed up with the greatest war criminal in the universe. He has created a combat-centric Omnitrix to fight Ben Tennyson twice, and he's literally said that he hates him, so our Red Lantern would have to go to Albido. But what about the Orange Lanterns? This Lantern Corps is only headed by one singular wearer, as it is the core that is powered by greed and selfishness. Their oath is literally like what's mine is mine like 100 times. Ben has had some greedy moments, like when he wanted to get his hands on a Sumo Slammer game before it was publicly released. But this Lantern Ring would not come to Ben Tennyson at all. It would be better suited for Arjit, the greediest man in Ben 10. His reputation speaks for itself, but let me remind you of some of his greediest moments from the alien porcupine. He scrapped the rust bucket for everything that it had. He profited off of an alien war between the Reds and the Blues. He became a Forever Night King off of the strength of an armadillo, and he is always hunted because of his cons. And you know what makes people con like this weasel? Greed. So obviously Ben wouldn't be as good a fit for this Lantern Corps. But what about the Pink Lanterns? This is the Star Sapphire Corps, which is powered by love. Very sweet. This is what enables them to get their powers, and the most notable member of this corps is Star Sapphire. The problem with Ben getting this ring is simply because of the composition of this Lantern Corps, where most of its members are women. That's for a very special reason, which is the fact that most men aren't chosen by the Sapphire Lantern ring because most of them aren't seen as worthy. So it goes mostly to women. And who do we know that goes God mode when her loved ones are in danger?
Look at me! Look at me! As of right now, the Tennyson family is off limits.
Gwen Tennyson as the Sapphire Lantern fits pretty well. Gwen not only has gotten into her overpowered Anodite form as a means of protecting her loved ones, but she has displayed great measures of love, like when she tried to protect a very dangerous Ultimate Kevin, and she even appealed to a very angry Propiatosian out of her loving nature. But that one didn't end well.
It's not a weapon. Gwen!
again!
This guy didn't have as much compassion as our next Lantern Corps, which is the Indigo Lanterns. Now Ben is an immensely compassionate person, being able to empathize and help out not only innocent people, but even his enemies. A good example is when he saved the genocidal hybrids, rescued Vilgax's planet from being controlled by ectonurites, and even when he gave Michael Morningstar the opportunity to redeem himself. Multiple ones at that. However, the Indigo Lantern Ring isn't really powered by compassion though. It forces empathy onto the user. The ring serves as a rehabilitation device that forces users who lack empathy to feel it. So it probably would be perfect for people like Dexter or other famous serial killers. It also mimics what other Lantern Corps do. So it's only fit for a user who is in need of some emotional intelligence. A good choice could be Inspector 13, who is very cold and calculating, but the best fit for this is Charmcaster. This all stems from the episode The Enemy of My Frenemy, where Charmcaster willingly sacrifices every life in Ledger Domain to bring back her dead father. That was the most serial killer thing I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure she would wind up on the list of the Bay Harbor Butcher just because of that. The Indigo Lantern Ring would definitely fix her lack of compassion that makes her take life so easily. But what I fear is the other Lantern Corps, the Yellow Lanterns. Now this ring is powered by fear and was founded primarily by Sinestro, an ex-Green Lantern now turned yellow. Now Ben Tennyson can be scary. Think about episodes like Above and Beyond where Ben terrorizes the plumber's kids as he pretends to go rogue, and in the episode Absolute Power where Lodestar terrorizes some Forever Knights for info on Kevin. I know for a fact that Ben could get this ring, but there is still a much better candidate to be the embodiment of fear, and that is the Calamari Conqueror, Vilgax. He's the perfect candidate, not just because he gave Rojo and Ben squid-themed nightmares, but because of the simple mention of his name, it had Grandpa Max sent into a frenzy. And when he saw him for the first time in many years, Max Tennyson literally shot himself. Even in the way he is framed leading up to his official reveal, we can see where Vilgax is a scary guy. There's only one other guy who is just as scary as Vilgax, if not scarier, but he is definitely more suited for a different ring, which leads us to talking about the Black Lantern Corps. These lantern rings in the DC universe don't have any live subjects, but are mostly wielded by undead beings. This would be a problem for Ben since he's still alive, but it does make a perfect match for Scare, and a few more other guys like Zambozo, Eon, Darkstar, and Agregor. These are all perfect fit for the core, not only because some of them are undead or are just straight up zombies, because a few of these guys are energy vampires, and it's just a perfect shoe-in to become a Black Lantern. These are the hopeless few who siphon your energy and make it their own. But what about the hopeful Blue Lanterns? This is a very small core of lanterns that has their ring powered by hope. Now Ben Tennyson has been that hopeful guy in so many occasions. He had hope when he was going up against an intergalactic invasion. He had hope when the Omnitrix was going to blow up and end the universe. And even in the final battle part 2, he found hope when he had no Omnitrix, no powers, and no will to fight. I mean, if he was to get a lantern ring, this moment here would be perfect for a blue ring to float down onto his fingers. He seems like the perfect candidate, but there is one that has been subsisting on hope for the entirety of his life. A redemption from a mistake that has now brought back an entire planet. I'm talking about Tetrax, the final hope of Petropia. In the episode The Secret of Chromastone, he is the inciting incident that helped give the planet Petropia life again. And he had to have had a hopeful mindset for many years, especially knowing that for quite a long time, there had been no way to revive his planet until Ben unlocked Chromastone. Probably the most hopeful of the series. And that's just a simple fact. But if Ben Tennyson isn't suitable for any of these rings at all, what would be a good fit for him? It would have to be something ideal for the user of the most diverse weapon in the universe. Oh, Ben, he would definitely be a shoo-in for the White Lanterns. These lanterns are the representative of the light of life and are able to access and use the entire emotional spectrum. He could have constructs that would represent these emotions that would range from the fear power of Ghost Freak to the rage of Wrath. I could see Ben being as powerful as the peak White Lantern Kyle Rayner, and definitely a next level up for the Black Lantern Corps. But there's one more person who would have multiple powers of the spectrum, and that's Kevin 11. Having gone through 2 major arcs in the show, I could see him having gone through the rage emotion and then evolving into a Blue Lantern of Hope, maybe being a dual lantern like Razor. But these are all the lanterns that have been picked throughout the Ben 10 universe. Let me know your thoughts down below, and thanks for watching. The Jackie Tricks babies hold a deep secret about the watch that no one else realized.